Hello Pisces, we are going to do your fortnightly reading for May 17th through to the 31st, the final 2 weeks of the month. Now you guys are first off the rank for the zodiacs for these fortnightly reads because you are the most viewed. So thank you for watching, thank you for supporting. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like and share if you resonate with the message. Now, of course, if this is your first time watching, welcome. Thank you for watching. My name is Ali. I'm an intuitive energy healer, and you can find out more about the work that I do through my business, Indigo Ascension, at the links below to my Facebook and my website pages. Now, the fortnightly readings, if you haven't already, I've already done your May monthlies, okay? And I've only recently switched from weekly reads to fortnightly reads because what I'm finding, I'm picking up a lot of timelines that span 2 weeks to a month anyhow. And obviously for logistical purposes, that's why I don't feel that I'm missing time frames when I do the read, even though they're late, if that makes sense. I'm picking up on the energies that will project sort of what's recently happened. So I feel that the monthly reads, yes, obviously the practical soulful readings will continue. However, instead of doing weekly reads, it's more aligned to the soul messages that I'm receiving to do them fortnightly, simply because they don't, the deeper subconscious healing stuff doesn't sort of transition 7 days like on cue like that, if that makes sense. Sometimes our deeper healing work takes a while. It takes courage, it takes bravery. So the weeklies have now transitioned to fortnightlies, as I mentioned in last month's reading. If you haven't watched it already, take a look. I'm just trying to remember what your theme was for the month of May. Pisces, old timelines falling away. So obviously so many of the zodiacs are welcoming the new timelines that are coming through. May has been a powerhouse of retrograde energy. Now what we're coming into for the next 2 weeks, okay, between the 17th and 31st, we'll be walking into a new moon in Gemini, which will kick off the new ecliptical cycle for Gemini and Sagittarius over the next 2 years. That's a pretty big deal considering we're closing an ecliptical cycle that was navigated by Cancer and Capricorn. So we're going to notice the way in which we're realizing things, the way in which we're eclipsing things that no longer serve us, okay? The way in which we're reorganizing the foundations and structures of our life are going to be infused with a different energy, okay? More on that, those ecliptical cycles as they transition and kick off from June. However, you know, the May 7th full moon in Scorpio was the birthing pond, if you like, of this retrograde energy, which has been very deeply healing. It's taken a lot of us back into time, through our past experiences. And, you know, many of the zodiacs are sort of floating through that still as we move forward into the last 2 weeks of May. Now, there's a lot of closing of chapters and opening of new ones for all of us. Now, with my zodiac readings, I do encourage the zodiacs to explore their natal charts, okay? Your natal chart offers a multi-dimensional aspect and view of you. Now, you are more than just your sun sign, okay? You're also a moon sign and a rising sign, a Jupiter sign and a Venus sign. So if you're more focused on a love relationship, for example, you're better off watching your moon sign and your Venus sign. If you're more concerned about practical and surface reality or everyday reality, or how you're presenting in a situation, for example, you're better off focusing on your rising sign. Your sun sign is your core, so a lot of people may not resonate with their core unless they're doing deep and healing stuff. Jupiter, of course, is the way in which you deal with growth and expansion. And as I mentioned, Venus is how you sort of connect in, and it is what your love language is. So that applies to all of us. Now, let's take a look at what your theme might be for the next couple of weeks for the Pisces that I'm picking up on. So in my work with, you know, soul ascension, healing and readings, I sort of go deeper to the core to help us navigate through those other layers of self. I refer to the 5 bodies and levels of being within my work. We are more than just a physical body. We're an emotional body, a thought body, an energy body, and a soul. And how those balance and transition and transmute is unique for us all. Okay, what beautiful energy, Pisces. Seriously, you've got the Soul Journey card. Soul Journey. And underneath, you've got the Rainbow Dragon. You know, it goes without saying, as was evident in the Practically Soulful readings for the month of May, is that many of the zodiacs are experiencing deep, deep transitions, okay, which is something beautiful. We need to go deep. We need to have that bravery to really get raw and real and honest with ourselves when it comes to what needs to be transmuted, what needs to be assessed, what needs to be let go. And we need to take accountability for the situations we find ourselves in and the lessons we're learning so that it truly integrates, you know, Pisces. So when the Soul Journey card shows up, you are definitely in review mode about everything you have learned to date when it comes to deeper subconscious motivations, fears, blocks, okay? You might be noticing a lot in dream state. You might be reviewing the timeline since XYZ, okay? You might be meeting people that you feel on some level have meant to be a part of your life. You are definitely on a journey as we move ahead, okay? So the final 2 weeks of May offer a spiritual view, a higher view, you know, a higher dimensional view of your whole life story in many ways. You know, look at all of that beautiful cosmic energy in the background, Akashic, a lot of Akashic energy in there as well. As a practical reading, and I try and be very practical with my fortnightly reads, as a very practical reading on some level, you might even be experiencing a lot more deja vu, a lot of increased dream state over the final 2 weeks of May. You might be seeing relationships and connections in a whole new way. The lessons and wisdoms they have brought you, the gifts they have been in your life. Yeah. Because every connection in our life has been placed on our path for a reason. And if you haven't already, I highly suggest reading the Celestine Prophecy. It's very much about this, you know, this journey to the inner temple, this journey up the mountain through ascension, this spiritual journey we are all on is unique for us all. Hanging on to the physical layer of things can be almost futile to the mental and emotional bodies when we're still trying to integrate a lot of the ego self, a lot of the shadow self. To truly be free to journey is to know that everything has its purpose and a reason for crossing our path, no matter how fleeting, yeah? And that is in those transitions, it is easier to let go with a full heart, easier to welcome the new. All right, my lovely Pisces, let's see what the tarot wants to say. I feel I'm also connecting into Pisces that are trying to disconnect. You know, you guys are really good dreamers at heart. You are amazing at a healthy disassociation. So I think if anything, I will say don't disconnect too much, because there's a lot of beauty that can be enjoyed here, in the here and now. You can infuse the magic down here in the physical reality. Yes, even if it is at your boring job. All right, my lovely Pisces. I see that there's a lot of strong clarity after a time of heartbreak. Maybe the last 3 years are significant in many ways. You've recently come out of a time that has tested your faith and your courage, something that felt like that 20 seconds of feel the fear and do it anyway, you know. What you have coming up is a beautiful, you've got 2 aces, my love. 2 aces. Underneath this, you've got a lot of 10-10. You've got 10-10s, okay? So 2 10s. You've got the 10-10 underneath, okay? Underneath everything. As you are experiencing this energy of the Soul Journey card, going through all the lessons, the wisdoms, the learnings of all your connections to date, everything your journey has gifted you with, through pain, through love, You're in review mode as we approach this new moon in Gemini on the 22nd. Be mindful then that if you are going to journey, go deep, go thoroughly for genuine healing, because that was the gift of the full moon in Scorpio as we kicked off all of those retrogrades. Yeah, we have 4 planets in retrograde presently. We are learning a lot about the deeper subconscious motivations we all have. We are learning a lot about the boundaries we've been taught by society and the rules we have played by. We're learning a lot about our motivations when it comes to love, intimacy, connection. We're learning so much about how we do not push ourselves when it comes to growth and opportunity, and how we're too scared to perhaps embrace abundance that already exists in our life, thanks to Jupiter going retrograde. So this May 7th full moon in Scorpio was a doozy in the sense that it pushed all of us to go deep. And if we've done the work, yeah, the new moon in Gemini on the 22nd of May is going to be liberating. There's new ways of communicating and seeing and navigating the path ahead. But this is essential. This, in order to feel free to see things from that higher, more spiritual view, we have to be willing to navigate through the dark and see it for what it is. And I feel many Pisces have been doing that and will be doing that as we close off in May. There are also many Pisces that will see that sudden lift and realization, this strong clarity. That is the gift for you in the final 2 weeks of May, okay? This is where you're at and what is your potential as you move forward. There's a lot of celebration kind of energy, a lot of freeing energy. But underneath all this is the 10 of Swords. The worst is truly behind you. The last 3 years is a potent story that has helped you gain true clarity of self, true clarity of your motivations, your courage, yeah? Your intentions for self, for others, for connections. This is about love very much so. You know, maybe the 3 of Cups is about the family dynamics and what and who feels like family. Okay, the heartbreaks within the friendships that once felt like family and perhaps are no longer. You're cutting away something here. And there's also relevant to some Pisces out there, this third party energy, okay, that may have been heartbreaking for some upon realization, yeah. Cutting out relationships that brought betrayal energy. That's what the 3 of Swords is about. But it is in betrayal that we experience this clear Christ consciousness energy, which is all about that higher view, the higher purpose of all connections that have come into our lives. Whether we are the betrayer or they are the betrayer, there's a gift in all lessons. You know, there's wisdoms in all connections, in all choices. Everyone makes choices. We all have free will to make the choices that we do, to stay, to go, to maintain. Yeah. Heartbreak is a massive teacher. I feel there's a humbling here, and there's definitely a letting go for some Pisces. It's taken bravery to do what you've recently done, you know. Maybe last August was significant for you to truly get clear about these themes, about these topics, about this, the last 10 years. And everything you have learned when it comes to love, marriage, connection. You're clearly identifying and seeing by the end of May relationships that are karmic and relationships that are harmonic, and how we allow both our shadow and light side to play out within all connections. I said this in a Leo reading, I think, or it might have been the Gemini reading for May. Now, you might be connected to a Leo. When we engage in connection and when we talk about things like vibration and energy, yeah, we will always resonate to the souls that are vibrating where we're at. Now, if I take full accountability for self and choices, I know that on some level I've called them in for a higher wisdom, for a higher lesson. And when it comes to love, and relationships and connections. You know, I talk about love because I do see a lot of love here, a lot of family, a lot of connection cards. Now, apply that wherever it resonates, Pisces. It might be within your friendships. It might be patterning in all connections and how you allow yourself to connect or not. So it doesn't have to just be romantic. It could be all sorts of connections. However we're vibrating is what we're attracting and calling in. It is a frequency. Yeah, and the minute we ascend, the minute we raise our vibration and cut out our own shadows is when we resonate then to higher forms of energy. And so then it's easy then not to play the victim. Yeah, it's easy then not to blame others and look outside of self for direction when our energy has always been at our navigation and choosing. And however we're vibrating is what we tracked in. I'm going to fail that test. I'm not going to find that car park. They're not going to want to spend time with me, or they're going to cheat on me, or they're going to lie on me. We manifest. We manifest all of the time. We are always manifesting. And at the crown of this, Pisces, you have this strong Magician card here. But there's lessons, there's infinite wisdom. See at the crown of his head, there's infinite wisdoms when it comes to the energy of manifestation. I think overall, this is about you for the final 2 weeks of May, really tapping into this Jupiter retrograde energy. What has Jupiter taught you? Where does Jupiter fall in your chart? You're getting clear on the true role of manifestation. You're getting clear on how you have truly manifested your current reality, outcomes in the past, where you are today, and how every choice has led you to here. You're getting clear on how you have manifested either through pain and trauma or through genuine courage. Yeah? There's a beautiful gift here and a graduation from heartbreak for you. I do see a beautiful coming together of friends and family and doing this. And those who feel like family is what I want to say, yeah? Resonating with souls who truly do feel like home in equal share. When it comes to this, we can partner and come into balance with souls that are not necessarily energetically equal. They may take from us, we may take from them. It's a beautiful balancing that happens when it comes to resonating with souls that feel like they are our equal. And that's a pertinent message for some Pisces out there that I feel like I need to say. There's been a clearing and a balancing for you when it comes to your connections, the way in which you connect, and how connections can lead to this because of imbalance. The Nine of Cups, this is the energy that you're moving into. This is complete fulfillment. Feeling like my journey to date has led me to be exactly where I am. I am here for a reason. I think there's going to be some amazing gifts that you will discover in this journeying, in this exploration of your timeline to date. Nothing has been of waste. Everything has happened exactly as it has needed to. And if you're not feeling this yet, if you're still experiencing and still getting clear on heartbreak, I feel I'm also speaking to Pisces that are assessing where they're at and how they've caused heartbreak too. And I do want to say there is wisdom in that. On a soul level, we all agree to play a certain role within each other's lives. However fleeting we cross paths, we are here to teach each other about love, and sometimes that means teaching each other what love is not. Yeah? I feel I need to mention that to some Pisces, because what you have coming up is this wish fulfillment card. So if there's disappointment, if there has been sadness, heartbreak, trauma, deep betrayal, endings of massive cycles here, you will see that everything has had to happen exactly as it is meant to. This has been leading you to your new beginning. There's two aces here. It's a new beginning. The Six of Wands is that recognition card, that coming home. It is also the marriage card. It is planning for something, a future. The next 6 months feels relevant. in regards to this theme and what you're learning and what you're sort of coming into. There's a new connection that may kick off, that will develop over the next 6 months, and you will truly feel this energy. You will truly feel what I'm talking about here when I say souls are meant to cross our path for a reason. This is not about the past, Pisces, because look how they're all moving forward. It is always about that forward momentum. It's not about looking back, is what I want to say, because it's essential that underneath all this, at the worst, that you truly do feel and know that the worst is behind you, that everything that has happened for a reason. Your past, see how the swords are in his back? The past has happened exactly as it has needed to. And what you're coming into over the next, I keep thinking 6 months. I feel like it's 6 months. You're going to be connecting into what and who feels like home. This is the lower minor arcana, I feel, of the Hierophant card. You know, it's about that spiritual alignment, that prayer, going into temple, going into self. Again, continually integrating the wisdoms that we're learning this month in our retrograde journey, thanks to all the planets that are going into retrograde in May. The final 2 weeks of May will bring you into this solitude where, you know, with the 3 swords hanging above your head, you can truly see them for what they are. The 3 of Swords represents heartbreak, lies, betrayal, shocking news. When all masks are off, the truth is on the table. That can happen internally, that can happen in connection. I do see that I'm talking to Pisces that are really processing this. This could be trauma. This could be past heartbreak that was never truly transmuted. This could be our role within a situation, our navigation of it, how we haven't forgiven ourselves for our role in something. We're really going in here and we're seeing those 3 of Swords for what they are. We're really learning those lessons and wisdoms and getting clear, like I mentioned earlier, thanks to the Ace of Swords, about the role of manifestation, which crowns you. This is the Magician energy. It is also trickster energy. You know, manipulating situations to benefit. Getting clear on what it is that we have been governed by and navigated by. Whether it is fear or love that truly navigates our choices and our journey moving forward. Have a look. There is a loss. And there are memories. Like he's sitting there in prayer alone. He's alone. He has to pull away from his loved ones. You might even feel disconnected from your immediate family and friends. There's also like a reminiscing. I look at this as a picture of the past, and that's why I felt like I had to tell you, don't feel like you're walking back. This is not about looking back in the past. We retrograde with the planets to learn, to master, to go into temple, yeah? It's not about living in the past or recreating the past. We take that wisdom with us to launch us forward. And if done properly, and if done thoroughly, I should say, I do see here that May offers, you will know what I mean 6 months from now, 6 weeks from now, a week from now, that there are connections, there are moments, there are opportunities that are coming up that will show you, there are connections and people that will show you everything had to happen exactly as it did to get you to a certain point in the future timeline. To have that feeling that our wishes are fulfilled, that we're receiving our 10 of Cups, and that we've got this divine spark of a new beginning and a beautiful opportunity at love and loving life again, a beautiful new opportunity at genuine emotional fulfillment. There's an ascension here when the 9 and 10 show up, yeah? If in the past you thought something was good, you wait. You wait. There is someone, something that feels like it is genuinely matched to your soul path and purpose. Where you are heading is better than where you have been, okay? Job opportunity, career, connection, experiences, friendships. You had the Rainbow Dragon directly underneath your soul journey card. Oh God, I can keep going. Self-love was underneath that. freedom. These are the energies that you have been processing. Boundaries, that has come up for you a few times in the weekly reads. Yeah, you've been processing these energies on a deeper fundamental level, Pisces. This is the gift of the retrogrades this month. This is the gift of the final 2 weeks of May to truly launch you into that new energy that June is offering all of the zodiacs when we kick off a new ecliptical cycle. I can't stress that enough. This is about thorough healing and cleansing and clearing of old subconscious patterning. And we're doing that. We've been doing that since last year, okay? Now more than ever, as the whole world and our reality completely shifts and changes form, is an amazing time to get to the crux of some deeper healing, because life no longer looks like it did, yeah? So almost on a psychological level, we can use that to our advantage. And if life no longer looks what it used to be, then in many ways we can start to believe that we too have changed. We too have the opportunity to completely transform from the inside out. That is a gift to all of the zodiacs. And I do see you've got some amazing beginnings here in love. What you can achieve over the next year for yourself when it comes to genuine emotional fulfillment. Because I do want to ask, what we can have things, we can have connections around us. You know, there's something here about everything you've been manifesting, everything, all the experiences, the choices you've made, the purchases you've made, even everything has been aligned to something deeper that no longer resonates. What you've been manifesting in has either aligned to fear or it has aligned to love. And I feel in many, many ways, Pisces, the path ahead is all about emotional fulfillment and aligning to authentic love. You are seeing clearly the patterning that has navigated you in your choices. Because we can make choices out of fear all the time. We think we need to be secure, we need to be safe, we need to keep ourselves safe. When it's really just some deeper stuff going on, yeah? That could apply to anything. Career, love, friendships. So this is about genuine emotional fulfillment. You are graduating. And you will genuinely feel it in here. I do see you are coming out of a time because of the past and feeling emotionally disconnected from events of your past. Like you've almost cut them out and not addressed the deeper emotions, yeah? But I do see for many Pisces, that's what May has been, you know. Maybe last October is significant. Maybe last June was significant in the healing of this storyline. And sometimes it is within connections that no matter how brief or fleeting, especially when they are soul connections. Now, I'm not one for romanticizing the role that soul connections play. We all have a soul family, a broader group of people, of individuals that are meant to cross our path, all for the purpose of love. And yes, some of those, they are no different to characters within a play. And yes, some of those are meant to show us or challenge our ego and our shadow. They're meant to show us what love is not. And now who am I to judge what love is and isn't? But it is unique to each of us to determine what that energy is for us, yeah? I feel I'm talking to Pisces that are truly getting clear on the genuine role that these emotional connections have played. Because I feel like I'm talking to Pisces that hadn't until perhaps even last October or recently, hadn't Aquarius season this year, you know, January, February, that hadn't truly addressed some deeper stuff going on. And like I was saying, we can cross paths with individuals, no matter how fleeting, that stir up some deeper trauma, deeper pain. And that is their role, you know. Why am I so heartbroken over that connection that was only 6 months old? Why was I so deeply heartbroken by that? Why was I so deeply heartbroken by something my boss had said at work? Why did it rock me to my core? Why did that rejection, you know, of a job that I did not get, why did that deeply affect me? All these little experiences are not little when they are part of a bigger soul story of individuals that have chosen and agreed with us to cross our path to teach us some deeper healing about original core wounds. Core wounds that, you know, tie into the past and past lives and betrayal of, you know, events and connections far back as childhood, or old connections from our past. That's what the gift of the retrogrades are for, Pisces. That's what these triggers and deeper traumas are for, so they can be released into this freedom that you've got coming up in May. It's something has taken you a lot of courage. Something is connected into last August and last June, okay? And this June as well is what I want to say, and where you're heading. The energy between now and this coming August, you know, will be telling this story and what you can achieve a year from now. The Magician crowns you, and you have the full empowerment within you to decide, do you want to get clear on how you manifest with that? We can manifest from love and use our intuition, or we can manifest from trauma and heartbreak and fear. Okay, soul journeyer. There is a purpose to everything, and every situation and every outcome will always lead us to the truth of ourselves and the people that we are meant to share a journey with, no matter how fleeting, no matter how long. There's some beauty in that, okay, Pisces? I hope you enjoyed your fortnightly reading. It looks like an amazing opportunity for some deep emotional fulfillment for you, my dear. After a time of authentic healing, clearing, and balancing of the past and seeing our motivations clearly, the rainbow dragon energy is underneath all of this, and there's a lot of high energy trying to permeate your life. And just like anything, you know, when we are manifesting, when we are choosing frequency, it is always a choice every single day. And that choice is completely within our will and choosing. There's some amazing choices for you ahead. Let go of the past. There is nothing there left to teach you. Where you are going is forward and ahead. That is where these gifts are, yeah? Deep emotional fulfillment and exciting new beginnings and recognition, marriage, having your wishes fulfilled, everything you've wanted. You can't get any better than that. Okay? Alright, my lovely. There's a celebration coming up for sure. Something exciting. Looks like a lovely 2 weeks in May for you. Alright, my lovely Pisces. I hope that resonates and you got something out of that. I will see you in June. Enjoy May. Bye.